grandkids. I've seen that funny ad where there's this thing they blow up with water and it slides across the lawn.
No.
Kids jump on it, it doesn't break.
No.
It's about that big and it expands to be about that big. Kids are jumping on it and it's moving. It's like a big teardrop, basically.
That sounds like it could be dangerous.
Getting a bit cooler now.
Mel's working.
Is she?
Yeah.
What time are we going over there?
I say about 10.
We'll take
Last time we were there about 4 odd hours, so
the pasties with us, eh?
yeah.
Hello, Scarlett. Good morning to you. We cleaned up our deck here and got rid of all a heap of boxes. There's actually a bit of room up here. Would you like? These are free. A couple of old toaster ovens you can have. A couple of those bag ice boxes and a couple of vanity units. Just come pick them up, Scarlett. You'll find a use for them. Oh, it's a special fee. Has nothing to do with money.
What? Your membership only.
Yeah, it's a loyalty point system. Do you know what I mean, Scarlett?
Oh, we've got to earn points now.
Yeah, like, you go to the supermarket, you get loyalty points. It's the same here.
So swipe your card.
Yeah. Did you pile all those breadcrumbs up there on top of that?
Yeah, because I had to fill up the biscuit tin.
Good morning. I don't know how he's going to eat that, though. How's he going to eat that?
Who? You talking to me?
Yeah, the actual... Show them. We feed the birds breadcrumbs, and the wife put a whole pile of little breadcrumbs.
You already has had some.
Who? Butcher boys?
All of them came and had some.
I just can't see. Either one of them's going to sit there and just go through them.
Yes, they have.
Okay. We get plenty of birds here. I'll tell you who might find it is the little peewees. Because they came right up to my feet today.
Yeah.
We're going to the daughter's place tomorrow. I'm taking 4 of the homemade pasties with us. And you're going over there to help tidy up, is that right?
I think so.
So... Scarlett said, did you send her a pic of the bluebird?
Did I send you a pic, Scarlett, or you me? I'm just in my mail.
Oh, she's saying you. Have you got one from her?
Oh,
I've been good. Working hard. Still things to do around the property, but we're getting there, putting all the curtain rods up tomorrow. But I'm not a curtain specialist, so we'll hang the rods and got a lady coming round to
some of
set the trim
Scarlett's
size.
artwork.
Is that Scarlett's?
Scarlett,
That's beautiful.
Just click one across.
No, not allowed to show? I'm looking at your artwork. It's beautiful. I see so many things in the picture. You've got a mind just like me.
There's more, but I have to get it out. Man, it's really detailed too.
Oh yeah, I see all sorts of things in there. I really do. It's beautiful artwork, Scarlett.
No, I have to get. You won't see the rest. I've got to get them up. My mail's just not good on the phone.
Yes, that's very beautiful. You have a great imagination. 500 paintings. Well, I think
Wow, 500.
I've done painting in the past, and I draw. Last time I drew, it was a picture of you, wasn't it? Quite a while ago.
Yeah.
Like I say, those pictures I've looked at, they have no form or figure other than letting your mind explain itself what's there. Really good. But being creative is a great expression. It's like I've always said that in this modern world, some people basically have all this ability and they don't even know it, to be creative in some form or another. Yeah, painting is just an extension of drawing, really. That I do believe. But it's things like paintings, when you do them, there is no value. I don't mean they're valueless. I'm saying it's something you do because it's a pleasure and it's an expression. And look, if someone said, I'll give you 10 grand for a painting, I'd be saying, yeah, you can have it, no worries. But I'm pretty sure your intention is not to sell them. You probably keep them or you give them away to your family and friends. I knew a painter once that he'd finish a painting, and it was beautiful paintings he did, and he'd just say to people, if you want it, take it. And I'm thinking, why would you do that? He says, because while I'm painting it, it's very important to me. But when I'm finished, it has no importance at all. I didn't get that. I still don't get it, but I understand that's his point of view. It's the process.
That's the bread Scarlett made the other day. Not all the. I
Yeah.
know, Scarlett, the first lot of email.
That looks more like banana cake.
The first email you sent me.
Sure it's bread, not banana
I'm
cake?
just asking. The first email you sent me, Scarlett, I only had one picture came up, but now I have more to look at when I'm checking it again.
Maybe they weren't loaded.
Well, yeah. So, the bluebird. Oh my God, that looks yum.
Oh,
The
yum.
Scarlett's.
Yum. Is that jam and cream? That's illegal, Scarlett. Can't have that with jam and cream on it. You get arrested.
Yeah, that picture didn't come up when I checked my email the other day.
Yeah, that's a bluebird. I'll just show that photo.
It's the
Can I show the photo of the bluebird, Scarlett?
I think it's a bluebird. That didn't come up when I first opened
Butter and
it.
jam.
Yeah, see, that didn't show when I first checked my email.
I'm just asking you, Scarlett, if I can show the picture of the bird, because I just have a question about it.
Is that the bluebird scarlet?
See, that bluebird would be a finch type thing we have here. That doesn't look like a very old bird to me. It looks more like, is it a blue wren? Is that what it is? I'm thinking wren anyway. It is a wren, okay.
All right. Is that the bird you meant, Scarlet? Because that didn't show up the other day when I checked my email. It's only just come up now.
That would make the smallest chicken fricassee I would ever see.
Oh,
You'd have to use doll knives and forks to put it into proportion. Bluebird.
very
We've got names
huge.
for birds that we call a particular bird you may see from time to time, where that pile of biscuit crumbs are. We call it a butcher bird. That's the common name, but it has a specific name. We've got two big families of magpies that squabble, but they tend to get on, sort of. We have lots of parrots that come. It's a good time of the year because a lot of the parrots will start heading from the desert to the coast. So we get pink and greys, black cockatoos, sulphur crested, 28s we call them, all sorts. And there's always heaps of tiny little finches, but they're really tiny. Like I put some bird, you know, those things you can hang from trees. I put one of them up, and they get eaten, but we hardly ever see them.
That's beautiful. That one I love.
Yeah, I like that.
Make it bigger. You'll see.
It's very much.
No, look at the little bees.
Yeah, I'm saying it's very much in the lines of Van Gogh, that picture. I think they're lilacs or snapdragons with little bees on it, scarlet. Reminds me of iris.
Oh, that is just so cute.
So do you use just watercolour, or is that a mixture of textures? Yes, it's a beautiful picture. See, sometimes when people paint, they paint things other people don't see. And what I mean is, like the picture with the bees and the flowers, is that a lot of people would just see the flowers or the bees. They don't retain the whole gamut of what they see. Use acrylic. Oil's very difficult to control, yeah, because you'll finish a certain part of painting with oil, you want to do something else, and you go, oh, smudge, bloody thing. I knew a guy that only painted with a palette knife, actually 3 palette knives, a real tiny triangle one, a fairly big broad one, and a fairly skinny one. He did some incredible work. Thing about a painting, a lot of people would disagree, but I don't, is that you walk up to the wall and look at the painting, and then a year later you'll have another look and think, oh, I didn't notice that before.
So how tall is 77?
Your knives is, sorry?
How tall 77 centimetres?
77 centimetres is probably, 40 centimetres would be about there, so about there.
All right, so the bigger one's a 77 centimetre water thing, and they're $85.
Yeah, sounds good. Well, they've got little things in them. Oh, I can't see.
No, I haven't got the picture up.
Oh, okay.
What do you mean? It's got a little bit of racing in the middle, but they're just normal bird baths. They're not made for fountain setup, which is okay because of what you've bought.
Yeah. Oh, even as a bird feeder would be fine. You can get a couple of those if they're... We're going to grab the tape because I know you don't visualise.
I do, I can.
No, I do. It's better for me to do this. remembers 30 centimetres is about a foot. Okay, so I'll show you 77 centimetres.
That's okay.
Bottom of the tape.
Yeah.
Bottom of the tape would be the top. That's what you're saying, 77. That's okay.
That's all right.
I missed something.
Sorry, Scarlett, I took him away from you for a sec.
No, I've never made a cement bird bath, but I've created a pond on a few occasions with rocks and waterfalls and things like that. I thought about a fish pond, but we have so many birds that come. I don't think the fish would survive.
No.
You'd have to make it too deep, and then you wouldn't see the fish. Unless you put a wire, inch square wire across the top so they couldn't dive bomb them. Like that one in Germany. Remember that one we went up the steps and then across the top they had all that mesh? It's getting a bit cooler. It's 20 degrees Celsius here. I know you're all going to say that's not cold. It gets cool for us at 20.
I smell fire.
I smelled it earlier. It came from over there. See, I've put that timber bit on the end there. I'm going to see if I've got enough timber to put all across the round.
Oh, you're going to use that timber?
Well, the longer stuff.
I thought that wouldn't be any good.
It's been beautiful days here. We can't complain. Today was 29 degrees Celsius, which I think's nearly 90 degrees or something. It was beautiful. It wasn't hot. This is winter. That's why I'm growing basil in winter. If we get a really cold snap coming, all I'll do is pull out the whole basil plant, clean the root, hang it upside down, and let it dry over a bag. And I'll have my own preserved basil. When it dries, I just rub my fingers across it between my hands and like rubbing your hands together.
You just see.
And you end up with lots of basil, nice and dried. It gets very strong though, you don't use too much of it.
You've only just come into the room.
Look, what I'm saying is basil will survive as a plant for, in Celsius, gets down to about 4 or 5, it'll still survive. Just slows down. Like I say, if we got a 0, that would be the end of it. But yeah, I could grow it inside. But we don't actually use a lot of basil. What I'll do, like I say, if the plant gets about 2 feet high, there'll be plenty of basil leaves on it. And then I'll just rip the whole plant out. That's how I do it in the past. With herb bushes that won't survive the cold, I just pull them out, clean the roots off under a hose, hang them upside down to dry in the shade. And then after about 3 or 4 days when they start wilting, put a bag underneath it. And it only takes probably 2 weeks and they're all preserved. They still keep their green. Drying herbs is the oldest thing in the world. People think it's complicated. It ain't, it's easy.
And I've asked her if she delivers and what would it be.
I don't think there's a herb that I dry that's complicated. It's all very, very simple. You can either do, as you would know, like say with rosemary, you could just break off heaps of straight twigs and then tie them with a bit of twine. So you end up about inch thick and just hang them somewhere in the garage or under the porch. And they dry reasonably quickly. There's lots of oils in some herbs and they preserve the flavour, but they also make it very intense. Dry herbs, I think, this is my calculation, Scarlett, 4 times as strong as fresh herbs, for sure. At least 4 times. So when you add a pinch of dry herbs, like I put in some oregano or oregano, you guys call it, into some pastry, leftover pastry and some flaky parmesan, and mixed it all together. I only put a tiny little bit because it is quite powerful.
It's still, I could taste
Yep,
it.
same with thyme. Yeah, but it was nice though, wasn't it? It was just in there, a hint.
I prefer no oregano, but
Oh well, go to a different shop.
I'll,
It was leftovers.
I know, I'll still eat it. I just don't like oregano.
Well, you have it in every stew I make.
Well, everything else kills the taste of it, and you don't always put it in.
Yep, celery can just go straight in the freezer, quite forgiving. Onions, any chilies. I always chop up my capsicum, chilies, celery, just put them straight in the bag. I do not blanch them, and they go in the freezer. Yeah, basil doesn't do it for me. It's very overpowering, basil. A bit like coriander in many ways.
I prefer basil to coriander.
Fine, I'll make you
or-
focaccia bread tomorrow with basil in it.
What's the other, what did you just say you used?
Oregano,
Oh,
coriander, I don't use a lot of.
yeah.
Our daughters like coriander, so we're growing it mainly for them. Herbs that overpower, it's not because you sometimes put too much in, it's just that your palate is quite sensitive to them. So what is normal for some people, like in Thai cooking, they use a lot of coriander. It's just too
Yeah,
strong.
strong.
A little bit is okay. In fact, you're better off using coriander seed and crush it, or coriander powder, just a little bit, because there's lots of oil in the coriander leaf and that permeates, gets too much. People put tons of it. You guys call it cilantro, but it's coriander to us.
Yeah, see, that's, yeah, I don't like that either of them, even though they're just saying they're the same thing, hey?
Different words for the same thing,
Yeah,
like rutabaga.
which is,
Oh, I think it's turnip. That's what we call it here, but they call it rutabaga.
why can't things just have one name? Why does the things have to have more than one
Where you
name?
live makes it different. Mexican parsley. Yeah, they have, see, some people here call coriander cilantro as well, even though it's a big species line. There's lots of different ones.
Yeah, it's very confusing.
It's like how many types of mint are there? I think, after last count, there's about 1,000 types of mint.
Like lavender.
There's heaps of different varieties of the same species. Like basil is the classic. I think there's more basil varieties than any other herb. There's thousands of them. If you like Asian cooking, Thai basil or Vietnamese basil or Vietnamese mint, they're things they use very common. But we were in Vietnam many years ago and the food was beautiful, great food. Yes, there's Greek oregano and Italian. I like the Greek one, to be honest. There's flat, curly, and then there's the really curly. What's that one called? There's triple curly, I think they call it. They used to sell about 5 different types. I like flat Italian. You can get flat leaf, which is not Italian, but I like the flat leaf Italian. That's what I'm growing. I think it adds just great flavour. We'll never make a soup or stew without bits and pieces of parsley in it. I'm growing lots of spinach, so that'll be heading into either salad bowls or stews. I think I'm going to try, actually I'll try and make some biscuits before we go tomorrow. I've got those nuts, pistachio and walnut, and you've got the other box full of nuts.
Crush up. You just don't use too much of the other ones because they're good ones. I want them for us. I'm talking about the pistachio.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, parsley's always been used for feeling unwell. I had a book years ago, I gave it to someone, it's called Foods That Harm and Foods That Help. Yep, natural breath freshener. Mind you, toothpaste is also a very good breath freshener.
Yeah, but some people don't even use that. Some people don't use anything.
My grandfather used to use charcoal. He used to crunch it and then spit it out. He had all his own teeth at 104. Can't argue with him. Yeah, we've got a bit of toothpaste with charcoal in it, haven't we?
Yes.
But my grandfather used just charcoal. He used to make his own charcoal too.
Yeah, but you shouldn't use just straight charcoal.
Well, he did. And I used to listen to him crunching away. I do know that the Greeks would clean their teeth just with seawater. They'd do 4 or 5 big swills. Baking soda can be a little bit harsh sometimes for certain people. Yeah. Yeah, you would chew charcoal just a bit for about 10 minutes. And then you gargle, 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 spit. When someone's got all their own teeth at 104 and all they've ever done is chew charcoal, it's probably not a great advertising campaign for today, but it obviously worked. No, you don't have to buy anything, keeping. It's a loyalty program. And you're a member. So keeping, we did a bit of a clean out of the old boxes and crap lying around. You can have all that stuff. You can advertise on the local rag and give it away. A couple of medicine cabinets for bathrooms, a couple of toaster ovens, those little buckets you chuck ice in when you have friends around. Bits and pieces we do not need, so they can go to a good home. And tomorrow we get curtains. It's like we joined the 21st century. I think the wife's found the nuts. You found the nuts, didn't you?
Huh?
Cashews, almonds, what else is in there? Walnuts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they make a good contribution towards nutty biscuits, I think, tomorrow. She can answer you for that one, Keeping. She's eating nuts.
Hang on.
Did you see Keeping's question?
I'm reading it now.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I love the house. It's actually, I can start calling it a home now. A house is just a house. A home is what you make it. Now things are getting in there. You can call it a home, even though it's a habit of saying a house.
Scarlett said there should be more pics of fox and more artwork on
Yeah, I
black
tried
backgrounds.
to, I'm going to have another look later.
Swan.
I tried to load the fox one and it wouldn't load, but it could be the strength of our internet.
Yes, a house is not a home until there is love and bacon. Then you know you've got a home.
Yeah, it's just a habit you say house. But I remember growing up with mum and dad, obviously. And we always said home. Where when we first, like the front part I called the home because I loved the old bit, but when this extension started getting built, I just called it the house because,
Until it's finished.
yeah.
Good morning from sunny Florida. Hello, Mama. It was sunny here today. It was 29 degrees Celsius, which I don't know what that is. 80 something, nearly 90. That's our winter. But we find at 20 degrees it's quite cold. Yeah. Oh, our kids and grandkids love it. There's lots of space.
Enough room there. I probably would have gone bigger. It's alright. It was good. We had some of the kids come over last night and just to spread out a bit more. I mean, at the end of the day, how big do you really want something?
Well, Mama, we're opening up. We're in Western Australia and people are going back to work. People are mingling. We don't have much of a problem with this virus now. We all stayed home for 2 months, did nothing. And most people did that, so.
Okay,
Have a
well,
good day
don't
at
work
work.
too hard.
In the shed next week sometime. Got to put a lot of our junk into the shed. Not a monster shed, just 10 by 10 by 8 feet high, gable roof. Enough room to put a lot of stuff in there though. You've got a spare lock still, haven't you? We'll be able to use that.
Yeah. $51 keeping. What's that in Celsius?
Cold. Bloody cold.
14.
Yeah. First mile over.
It's 51, about 14.
Well, that's what it is here at the moment. It was 29 midday. Now it is 8 something o'clock. And it's 9 of it. I actually can show you Fahrenheit. So 66.5, and we find that cold. Well, I mean, we're getting used to it because we designed it, so we knew, mind you, the wife didn't really understand the sizes when the slab went down. She kept saying it's too small.
I did understand.
I'm saying it's huge, but we knew what we were building. why we were building it. It's like we've got really large showers. It's too cold for a Scarlett. And the wife's got on a dressing gown, and I'm about to go and get mine.
Well, in the last half hour, it's cooled down a bit, hasn't it?
Yeah. She might do that. I'll go and grab it. Did you want anything?
Nothing. Oh, seeing the legs. Damn, the other girls aren't here. Hey, Scarlett. I think Mel's actually working tonight. Mel will be right back. You only just walked through the door now.
Am I?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I've already sat down for those that are interested. Yeah, it was pretty big. It's probably 2.5 times bigger than the original cottage. But we have a big family, and we know we'll have people staying. The reason why there's not a lot of people here at the moment is the obvious reason. And we're just starting to catch up with the family a bit more because restrictions are all gone nearly.
Well, yeah, still.
So we'll have people come and visitors, friends, family. Like I say, by August we'll have number 10 grandchild. So I've got to start building a few things for the kids. Like maybe a trampoline.
No,
No trampoline?
no trampoline. They can have that at their own house at their place and dig
Basketball
into the ground.
hoop?
A basketball hoop I'm okay with.
Okay. What else is under the legal Mystic
Oh,
Angel
just
laws for the kids?
Trampoline, they're fun. I know kids have fun on them, and I know you can get some really good ones. I get all that, but no. Basketball hoop, even I'd
Maybe
play
we'll just
with
give
that.
them a stick. Here.
Hey,
Yeah,
I
Grandma
used to-
said you could have a stick.
I used to just play with a stick. Throw it for the dog would play fetch.
Well, the grass is looking good. I can play on that. Wow, number 10. What does that mean?
Grandchild.
Yes, that's 10 grandchildren.
Yeah, actually, so did I until I sat on
Scarlett, you would have had many friends.
until I sat on a bull ant's nest and it bit me on the bum. Man, that hurt. Oh.
I used to just always be out as a kid, fishing, swimming, Huckleberry Finn adventures, and it was just good fun. Have to look for a tiered shelving system to go in the shed too.
Yeah.
I think the one thing that is not sold in toy stores and can never be purchased is imagination.
Well, that's right.
And that is something that, because kids are entertained electronically, I'm sure their imagination is still there, but it's not used as much.
I mean, I grew up on acreage, so it was a bit different for me than what our grandkids have got. and I just had a swing set, but I had creek down the back, helped Dad in the shed.
Mm-hmm.
What another thing I would get is badminton set. I would play that.
Yeah,
The
that would
older
be a good idea.
kids would enjoy that.
You can just set up a court by stringing the fence and clamping something to one side. And
I was just hoping that no one hits it over the fence.
well, actually, it's wide enough for a tennis court. Actually, it's a good idea, badminton, because even our kids,
We didn't even have the net. We just had the 2 rackets and the shuttlecock. We just played with that.
I'm saying between the fence and this wall here, you just put a clamp and put a fence, put a net across.
If you want to.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
because then, like I say, the kids will play, but our grandkids and also the kids will play. You know how competitive our kids are.
No, well, I used to walk everywhere. I
Yeah,
never learnt
me
to
too.
ride a bike. None of us got push bikes as we grew up. Actually, I don't know why. First push bike that ever came onto the property, I think I was about 13 or 14. By then, my 2 sisters were a lot older, and we just never learnt to ride a bike
Or swim.
or swim. That was Mum's fault because Mum was scared of the water, so she never took us for swimming lessons.
Mhm.
First thing when my kids were old enough, that's what they had, was swimming lessons. I walked everywhere. I like walking.
Actually, the side walls are good enough for handball. And the kids will play that. The kids do that naturally, don't they? Handball.
Yeah, you just need tennis balls for that.
Definitely more traffic.
Alright, there is. Still not as noisy as what? I don't even know what date it is. What is it? Saturday?
Saturday, yeah. Did you play hopscotch?
Yes. See, I can get, you can get pavement chalks. That's another good thing the kids, even the grown-up kids would play that. Because that pavement chalk just washes off, so I will get some of that. Yeah, jump rope. Played, yeah, we called it skipping rope.
It's one way to learn keeping. That's definitely one way to learn. I was naturally a fish in the water. All my kids are like fish. They swim and dive. If I wasn't at school, which was pretty often, I'd be down fishing, swimming or diving. I was diving when I was about 9 and I didn't get a pair of goggles till I was about 15. I used to free dive, no snorkel, no goggles,
Yeah, so you just took yourself. Who taught you to swim?
just me.
Yes, but I never had that opportunity. We didn't live near the water.
That's definitely not going to help.
We'd go swimming in the dam, but Dad was a brilliant swimmer. Dad even saved someone once. The Carlo River.
I pulled a couple of Japanese girls. I was body surfing, and they would. Where you're body surfing is always rips because that's how the body surfing waves get to be dumpers. And as I was going in, I could see them going out, and they were swimming but not getting anywhere. So I went out with them. I said, "We need to go out a bit further, Go up the beach, see where it's not dirty. See, not dirty there? Okay, yeah. So I was talking to them all the way. They would have drowned. They could both do breaststroke. So they couldn't do any freestyle. And I said, when the wave comes down there, we'll catch it and go in. Bloody hopeless. The wave would come and I'd start going in and they'd be like, blip, over the wave. English wasn't that good. What did they do after they went round and got to the beach? They walked out nearly to the same damn spot again. I said, oh well, might be sushi on the plate tonight. It's the most powerful element on the planet, water. And if you're a bit too overconfident, I always taught my kids first to float, and in the ocean it's really easy. In the pool it's a bit more difficult, but in the ocean with the salt, like a cork in the ocean, just relax, lean back, a little bit of arm movement, you can float for hours. Unless you get eaten by a great white, then
Yeah,
floating
well,
doesn't help.
No.
Seen one of them blow up spa things. They're not too bad actually. They're quite, and you can get a cap for them, cover.
A blow up one.
Yeah, solid. It's not flimsy like a balloon or anything like that. It's really heavy canvas type thing.
I don't know.
Well, then you can take it down, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, just a thought. Kids will want to swim during summer. That or a spa. Get your clothesline next week too. You'll be excited.
Yes.
We might toodle off shortly.
Yeah. Got a yard game to play.
Oh, you're busy. All right, well, we will toodle off.
Good night. Stay safe.
Hang on, keeping us. Oh, guys, been good catching up. Work, sounds good. You have a great weekend, all of you. Enjoy yourself. Be safe. And remember, when you can, be kind. Good night.